Hi everybody, my name is Anna Mirazita, and I would like to begin by acknowledging that I live, work, and learn on the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people. As someone with Italian heritage who has built a career in Kelowna, I am grateful to teach and conduct research on this land, and I recognize my responsibility to contribute to inclusive and equitable education communities here. My capstone is a literature review that investigates how publicly funded elementary schools across global contexts support the academic and social-emotional development of students with autism and learning disabilities. The research problem driving this work is that, although inclusion is widely promoted, its implementation looks very different across countries and even across schools within the same district. Many students are physically included but still face limited participation, inconsistent support, and uneven academic and social outcomes. A second issue is that the literature often privileges adult perspectives, so teachers, parents, and administrators, while student voices, especially students with autism, remain largely absent. Much of my evidence also comes from North America and Europe, which raises concerns about cultural biases. And across the field, there is little agreement on what effective inclusion actually means, making it difficult to compare findings or identify reliable practice. So to examine these challenges, I conducted a methodological review of international, peer-reviewed empirical studies. The review I analyzed included qualitative interviews and observations, mixed method designs, longitudinal work, systematic reviews, and intervention studies. While these studies contributed to important insights, many rely heavily on self-report, which introduce biases and reduces ecological validity. There's also a clear shortage of participatory of child-centered methodologies that position autistic learners as direct contributors of knowledge. Combined with this inconsistency was the definitions of effectiveness. These limitations highlight the need for more rigorous, mixed method, observational, and student voice-driven research. My analysis is grounded on two complementary theoretical perspectives, one being progressivism and two being behaviorism. So progressivist theorists like Dewey, Fier, and Bell Hooks emphasize experiential, relational, and meaningful learning. Behaviorist principles, especially those like Skinner, remind us of the importance of structure, predictability, and reinforcement. Together, these frameworks support inclusion models that is both flexible and responsive, while still providing the consistency of neurodiverse learners often needed. So guided by this foundation, my research asks a single question. How do inclusive elementary classrooms internationally support the academic and social-emotional development of students with autism and learning disabilities? Across the literature, four major themes occurred. So first, being inclusivity and belonging, meaning that inclusion goes beyond physical placement. Second, being student voice and agency, so tools like AAC, assistive technology, and choice-driven learning support agency. Third, being collaboration and relationships, so strong coordinated relationships among teachers, families, specialists, and peers were consistently linked to better outcomes. And last, being curriculum and instruction. So strategies like visual support, structured routines, and interest-based instruction showed positive effects and also had a wide access to practice across schools and countries. Across the studies, there were three major gaps. So student voice is widely underrepresented. The evidence lacks cultural diversity. And last, measures of effectiveness are inconsistent. So based on these findings, my recommendations focus on two main areas. First, schools should embed individualized evidence-based supports like visual schedules, peer-mediated interventions, and structured routines more consistently within the IEP. Second, districts should strengthen professional learning communities that focus specifically on inclusive pedagogy, creating spaces for educators, families, and specialists to collaborate regularly. So in closing, this review suggests that inclusion is not a placement, but a sustained commitment to belonging, agency, collaboration, and responsive instruction. By centering student perspectives, expanding cultural diversity research, and supporting educators through strong collaboration structures, we can move towards learning environments where every child thrives academically, socially, and emotionally.